We're back with the Pure and BS podcast. And today we have a special guest, James the Shed Shed.
It's not really. I'm just turning up.
Oh, you're a special guest
You're
because
just,
you're a
you're
special
just
guest.
turning up.
a regular at this point. You know what, Antoine? I didn't even notice the sunglasses, dude. You look like Riddick.
Do you see
right?
Quentin? Me and Quentin are the same.
Oh, I didn't even notice Quentin.
Didn't even notice the glasses.
Yeah, you guys didn't get the memo. That's why.
I think
So,
I might have some glasses right here somewhere.
So the Olympia was what, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Justin, how much weight did you gain, Justin?
I put on a nice little post-show 15.
Hey, it's not bad.
That's good.
Not bad. I'm like, yeah, so I'm like 240, 243, and I was like 228 on stage. So
How's the pump?
That's a nice, not too much, not too little, I'd say.
you know, I honestly, I was hoping it'd be less because I really didn't go that crazy, and then it's just, I think my body's just fucking over it. It's like I've been perfect the last few days, like thinking it'll come back down, and it's just like I don't think my body's, it's just done being in a deficit. It just won't allow me.
Yeah, you'd have to go really low carb for like 5 days to go back down, which is annoying.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm not really worried about it. I look good. Like, I look respectable for, 15 pounds up. I don't look like shit. I feel good. I don't have any, like, edema or swelling around my ankles or any of that shit. So,
Oh, then you're good then. So what's your plan now? Like, you're going to travel a little bit?
I'm not sure. Jasmin is doing nationals in 4 weeks. So she's 4 weeks out. So we're going to be in Texas here in like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. Ooh. And then after that, I think we're gonna chill for a good 2 weeks. And then I was talking with Dorian and Mariah about coming up in January to Pure, hang out, get some content, and all that good stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But right now, I just gotta prioritize her and let her do her thing, and then we'll reassess.
That's good.
How's she feeling? Is she feeling good? Feeling positive?
Yeah, she feels good. I mean, how she is, or how it is, like. She's really hard on herself, so it's like never good enough. So she just is beating herself up. I'm like, dude, you look fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And but you're in that phase where you're 3.5 weeks out, and you just like, it's like you don't have to be perfectly. You don't have to be in shape right now. You have to be in shape and peaked on show day. So these are like those daunting last 3 weeks where you're like fucking waiting for it all to come together. Yeah. But she just needs to realize she's working with Matt. Matt's one of, if not like the very best coach our industry has to offer.
Yeah.
He's not going to let her show up out of shape. We're good. She's on track. She looks fucking awesome.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. I think it's going to be a great physique. She already is a great physique, so we'll see what happens.
She's got a fucking awesome physique.
Does she have an update on?
You might be able to like see something on her story I think she posted, but she's pretty quiet about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Jasmin Shier.
She's got a sick physique, though, dude. She's got tons of muscles. She looks awesome.
That's what happens when you apply yourself, doesn't it? And you do things with, calculative approach, sensible approach, and try fucking hard,
Yeah. Well, I think, she's got, been in the gym over a decade. I mean, yeah, you can tell right there.
Proportions are just exactly what you need, in it. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
I've never had abs even like that.
And she's got so much muscle from, because she comes from a powerlifting background, She almost, pulled 405 at 100 and fucking 30 pounds natural, 6-7 years ago. So, like, she's moved a lot of poundage in the gym. She spent a lot of time training. So, it's cool to see it all come together in this respect. Like, yeah, you can see, like, that, like, front relaxed right there. Just that front post. She's so good.
Yeah. Look at the difference as well. Wow.
Yeah, so that was like beginning of dieting, and then 6 weeks in, like, yeah, she's crazy shape.
So she's doing figure, obviously, right?
Yeah, she's doing figure.
She has really good legs for figure, huh? I think she's like,
I
don't see figure girls with good legs like that.
So she works with KJ Center Stage. So Christina, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Christina and Joey, but Christina's been having her pose her legs smaller because her legs are so big. So like kind of having her not quite flare them out, like not quite, just trying to suit the division a little bit with her posing. But like,
imagine that being a problem.
No, yeah, it pisses me off because I'm sitting there like bending at the knees, fucking driving those cocksuckers out and trying to get them big.
It's like the only man I know that never had that problem who could have the legs dead straight together is Ronnie Coleman. Do a front lat spread with his legs dead straight and just like that, and it still looks crazy.
Yeah. Insane. Yeah, it's fucking cool. But yeah, I'm like super excited for her. So that's been kind of like the priority around the house. Like, it's like we got to come home and I didn't quite get to like just have normalcy in the house because there's still someone on prep. So it's like if I'm eating any treats, I'm like sneaking it in the kitchen when she's not looking and trying to be of her prep because I know how it is. It's tough. I can't just like bomb into the living room with a bowl of ice cream while she's sitting there. So.
No, for sure.
Why not?
It does get really tough.
I didn't know she could draw like that.
She's super talented.
Yeah, it's very cool. Is that painting? Is that paint or it's like a?
I'm not sure what you're looking at, but she paints and also does like chalk drawings and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's brilliant, dude. She's really good.
She's sculpture too.
I'm not sure what you're looking at.
I'm looking, but I'll show you right now. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's see. Now I'm intrigued.
I like art stuff, to be honest.
Dude, she's really good.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, just some funky stuff in her art class.
Whoa.
I love it, man. She went to school just to take an art class and then just to learn Spanish. She did like 3 years of Spanish the last 3 years and like just to, expand her knowledge and learn and grow. Yeah, I'm like, I just admire the hell out of it.
Rick and Morty right here.
Does she speak fluent Spanish then?
She's getting very, very good at it, but not fluent yet. But yeah, it's cool just, to be 30 years old and be like, I'm going back to school just to learn. And
sick.
Yeah, it's cool. I really admire it.
Yeah, I do. Because I wake up most days and I feel like I'm on the second half of my life and I get upset about the prospect of not being able to take on new things and learn new things. And I probably put myself in a position where I make things don't happen because I've already told myself they can't.
Yeah.
So to hear people like that who just, no, I will, I can. It's good to hear because it's a reminder to us all that it's not too late to like do stuff like that. Not that 30's old, but it's funny how you feel on the other side of 30.
Dude, yeah, I know. It's inspiring, right? I mean, it motivates me. She makes me. I'm fucking blessed to have a partner that is always trying to pursue new things, be better, grow. I mean, I swear she's read I think she read like 40 books this year. Like, so she's been like cranking through books. She's got like a goal to hit X amount of books by the end of the year. So she's always reading, always learning, always pursuing new things. And I'm just a huge fan.
I can only imagine what that does to you as a person, like in how, I know, how thorough you can be, how complete.
Yeah.
Because we're essentially like a bit of an empty box and we've got space to fill. And a lot of us get to the end of our time and we probably half fill it. Whereas obviously Jasmine's showing that attribute where she wishes to fill that right up to the brim.
It's really cool, man.
Did she ever draw you naked?
We're working on that right now. It's in the works. It's a very, very private endeavor, but
obviously you're not going to share that.
I want to see it.
Unless you could like put a.
See Justin Schlong.
No, you could put.
I have a very nice dick. You guys are gonna love it.
Oh, nice. You could put a little emoji over it though. You could share.
No censorship. Yeah. No censorship here, mate.
Be a big
come on, man. Yeah, she's very good. I didn't know that. I like all of what she's doing. I like the stuff when she combines like weird stuff together.
Yeah, like that weird Rick and Morty one that she did.
But but also the other one. Where is it? Oh, there you go. So she took a picture and she kind of like put something over it, and now she's like drawing this like funky thing here. I just like it.
What I admire about her, and I think I need to be better at, is like she's never bored playing on her phone. She's always doing something, whether it's reading a book or drawing or doing something artistic or just outside. Like she just is able to occupy her time with far more interesting things. Sometimes I just sit on my phone and stare at the screen. I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? It's easy to trap.
Yeah, imagine how productive your life would be if every opportunity you have to do something, you have a choice. Obviously, you have a choice of this, or you have a choice of doing something. Imagine every time you do something, what endeavors you would conquer.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because obviously a lot of the things you do, they're like incremental. So, you might do this one day, but by the time you come back round to it, if you do keep doing it, you progress. So you progress in all these different avenues.
Yeah.
I think we all just realize right now how fucking shallow. I'm just fucking shallow.
Well, to be honest,
I mean,
you want to go?
I think even Antoine, like what you're doing, like you've been mixing beats, dude. Like that's cool. That's just fulfilling, you know. But even playing video games, like Jasmine's a big gamer, and she's able to like disconnect and like lock into a game. There you go, lock into a game for an hour and have like an effective fucking block of time that she invests. For me, I start playing and then I get distracted, and that it's like even the things like that I should just be able to enjoy. Sometimes I'm just so fucking.
What do you think that is? Do you think that's just because we all feel so pressured to be putting our energies and efforts into what people know us for? Like you're not almost allowed to be anything other than what people expect you to be.
I think that's a thing. Sometimes I get anxious about not being productive when sometimes the most productive thing you can do is be unproductive, because there's value in that too, you know. Being able to disconnect and just hang out. Like on a Sunday, sometimes it's just like you just need to disconnect and chill, and maybe playing video games for 2 hours with your wife or partner or whatever is exactly what you need to have your mind right for the week moving forward, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, one thing that I've noticed is that sometimes we do things too much. Like, how can I monetize everything that I'm doing and stuff? Or how can that be content and things like that? But I think we got to find something that we just like to do and nobody fucking knows.
Yeah.
That's good just for you, right? And there's the music thing. Like, I'm streaming online just because I like it, but I get like 3 viewers. Like, it's stupid, right? But I just like to do it, and I practice the music, and I research on it. And I'm gonna buy another thing for it now. So it's like that's something that I like to do. That I don't care if I'm not gonna be ever good or renowned for it. I don't give a fuck. I just like it.
Good.
You know, so I think we need to find something like that for all of us. I know, James, you just love playing Warzone with your friends, and sometimes you share, but sometimes most of the time you don't, right? Yeah. And that's something you like.
Yeah, I think, like you say, I think it's very easy today to be lost in doing things for yourself because everything's out there, isn't it? So you always feel like you got to impress so and so or earn money from such and such. Like there's just this pressure on yourself to be successful because everyone's showing success on their highlight reel. You feel like you got to keep in there and be part of it, but realistically, that's not reality, man. Like you say, it's the most important reality is your own reality, the immediate, the now. Like, what am I doing right now? Who am I talking to? I'm enjoying these conversations. Do I enjoy the space I'm in?
So, Q, is there something that nobody knows that's like kind of one of your hobby? Is something you like to do that nobody knows that you're doing, really? Or you share a little bit, but like it's not something that you care about sharing with the whole world or to be like really good at it? It's just something that you enjoy doing?
I mean, I game. I don't really post about it much, but I game. These days I've been so busy. I haven't really been doing outside of the gaming. I haven't been doing a lot for myself, you know. So that's pretty much it.
So you like the sports game, right?
Like I like a lot of games. Like I like NBA. I like NFL. I like the UFC games. I like playing zombies and whatever Call of Duty the zombies are in. Right now, I'm playing a Spider-Man game. It's really good. Like I don't know. It's just a time to like unplug. Oh, it's so
how is that Spider-Man game? It's good,
bro. It's crazy good, man.
I started playing the first one. I feel like I have to finish the first one.
Nah, I didn't play the first one.
Really? They told
me too. I didn't play the first one.
Okay, I read online. It was like, yes, definitely play the first one. So I was like,
they do a recap at the beginning. So before you start playing, you have an option. Oh, do you want to see the recap? So it explains what happened in the first one.
Okay, fuck it.
So you're good, and it's really cool. Really cool game.
It seems like a much better game than the first one was.
I haven't played it because my PlayStation is at my other place, but I've literally sat on YouTube and watched everything. So I know exactly what happens. I know the story. I think it's pretty cool. Definitely worth playing if you get a chance because the story's good.
You know, talking about like doing things that like are just for us and like, you know, that's what bodybuilding really started out for us.
It did. Look, I know you're going to go into this. Is great because that. Yeah, sorry,
because honestly, it's easy to be fucking jaded by this stuff because now we are monetizing it. It is our career. We do make money on it. We do like I was thinking about this yesterday when I was vlogging because I did like a long vlog yesterday. I filmed my meals and I filmed my training, and then there's a part of me that goes like, "Fuck, this is a pain in the ass," and it's taking so fucking long. But then it's also like, how fucking cool. Like, this is what you started doing this because you loved it and you enjoyed it, and now you're sharing with people and inspiring people and making money off of it. So I think we still need to just be able to understand that, like, we're still doing something that we fucking love. We're just able to, make a career off it, and it's a blessing. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think that to be the case, we have to somehow strip it back.
Yes,
because there is this overwhelming feeling, isn't there? Sometimes
there's sometimes, like yesterday, like I said, I vlogged the whole day and it felt overwhelming. And now I need to spend the rest of the week where I just put my headphones in. I don't break out my cell phone. I just fucking train and I train hard and I do it just for me. But obviously we need to balance that because it is a fucking career. We need to continue to do our jobs. But yeah, we're lucky. We're super blessed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like
it's a funny one, man.
Regan?
No, bodybuilding's a funny one. Sorry,
bodybuilding, yeah,
just because it can make you feel on top of the world, and like it can feel so purposeful at times, like that you have a real, true, strong reason for being here. And then other times, obviously situational depending, maybe it could be a result or anything. It could be something in life. It can feel like it's the most obsolete thing you've ever done. It's so strange. You might not feel the way. I'm just saying how I feel. Like sometimes I feel like I've had a great reason. And then other times I'm like, man, like, I'm not sure what my reason is, even though the reason should be that because you've come such a long way. But
it can feel burdensome, right?
A little bit.
It feels like it's sometimes the most amazing thing in your life and brings everything, and then sometimes you feel like it takes everything away.
Didn't Ross Flanagan do quite a good post on this? I think he did something.
He just posted about like the duality of body.
Yeah, and I thought it was quite good.
It's very good. It was.
I heard he didn't do the finals. Is that true?
Yeah, so he didn't.
What happened?
Show up on,
what happened?
I guess I texted him that day, and he just told me that he had some like dehydration issues, and he didn't feel safe like following another dehydration protocol coming into the night show. I don't know him. I hope he seemed okay. Like when I chatted with him that day, and then after the show, he seemed to be fine. I guess he just didn't feel comfortable trying to peak again for the night show.
It's pretty common. You normally do see it. Like I've noticed at any Olympia, there's always a couple that probably feel a bit rough because out of that many people, someone's going to feel like that.
Yeah. I hope he sends a medical paper to the IVB though.
Listen, dude, I think something needs to change. Like I think that those 2-day shows are brutal. It's not good.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
I'm along the you said, man. Midday, get us the fuck off.
Yeah, I like. There's no prejudgment finals back to back. Get it done.
Run through show, man. Run through.
I love those shows.
Listen, that would be good for us, but I think in terms of monetizing the sport, I think it's better to have it as a 2-night show.
Well, 100%. 100%. But that's where it's like it becomes down to like our selfish requirements versus the benefit of the company. And I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not to maybe they do classic on Friday night and then Saturday night they do bodybuilding. That way there's 2 big shows on Friday and Saturday, so they're not, losing out on ticket sales. I feel like they would still sell. I mean, there's a lot of people there that are just for classic,
I feel like most people there were there for classic because of Chris Bumstead alone.
Yeah. When C-Bum won, a lot of people left, I heard.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. It used to be the opposite.
When I was there, they were the loudest for Chris. Ramon was probably second, and then third was probably Derek Lunsford. Yeah. But the classic guys are definitely like people
leading the charge.
Classic. Yeah. So that would be a good idea.
Yeah, I just feel like, like getting the 212 guys out in the morning and then at night, like it's such an advantage. You look at how like people go, oh man, the 212 guys were in better condition than the open guys. Well, maybe if we were on stage at 11 a.m., you might have seen a different package.
Yeah.
We were all on stage past our fucking bedtimes after fucking meal 9.
Yeah, you got to have like 9 meals one time. It's true. Like the days are so long, you end up like I have to eat.
Dude, I had been awake for like 17 hours before I got on stage.
Yes. We were on late as well, weren't we, Antoine?
Oh my God, you were.
That was late last year,
and we were all like not our best. Again, same thing.
Backstage like sardines until like 11 p.m.
Bro, I was like, we were laying backstage, and the subwoofer is there, beating our fucking heads like there's no like there's a curtain, there's no hard wall, there's no separating, there's no quiet space. It's mad. Like, because I had a little bit of a not a complaint, but I said about last year, I think that what needs to be worked on is the space behind for the people that are competing. I don't know how it was this year, but I do remember Orlando, the year that I did the Olympia there, being actually more spacious and better than Vegas.
Did you do 2020, James?
2021. 2021 and 2 I've done.
Okay, I've done 2020 in Orlando, and Backstage was a whole gym. Like all the new tech stuff was there. Carpets. That was amazing because I think the space is cheaper in Orlando. And then we go to Vegas, nice theater, better than Orlando, because Orlando is like a bunch of chairs like that, which is like, but Vegas had a nice auditorium with a theater, but Backstage was like crammed. It wasn't made for like a.
I wasn't a fan of our Backstage, the Vegas one. I was quite.
Backstage was epic this year. Like you said, we had a full fucking gym, had all dumbbells, pull down, cable, fly, fucking everything. So it was very good, and everybody had lots of rooms. There's a whole different area separate where we were getting tan and glazed, whole different pump up area, a completely different area where everybody was relaxing. All the room in the world was very nice, but it was loud as a motherfucker. That subwoofer was shaking the fucking mirrors on the wall, which is cool. It was exciting. You know, that's not really anything to complain about, but. It was really just like the timing. We went to the athletes meeting, and Dan Solomon said, "Get here at 9:15, and then you're probably still gonna have to wait." That was exactly what he said. And then I'm in my Uber at like 8:55, and they're calling me, and I answer, I'm like, "Hello?" They go, "Hey, where are you?" I said, "I'm on my way." I said, "Well, we're starting. We're starting now." I was like, "You guys said get there at 9:50." "Yeah, I know what we said. We're starting now. Get here." It's like, what the fuck? So I get there, and I haul ass back, and I'm like running. I'm like sprinting backstage, and it's through this whole fucking huge convention center. So I'm running. I get back there, and I'm like wearing my tracksuit and shit, and I'm fucking getting back there. I'm fucking hot and sweating, tripping. I'm like, God damn, dude. They're like, get pumped, get glazed now. So I fucking strip off. I start getting glazed, and I start pumping up, and I'm freaking out. I'm like, holy shit. And Matt's like, calm the fuck down. I'm like, dude, they said they're starting in 5 minutes. And then
you waited for an hour.
We waited a full fucking hour before we get on stage.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So it's just like, listen, I don't blame anybody because it's. I mean, you know, obviously there's people that are in charge of these things. Maybe they could have done a better job, but I'm not privy to the inner workings of these things. You know, the way I looked at it, I was like, can you just tell fucking Bob to go up there and tell a story and give us 15 minutes? You know, like I know Bob can talk. It's like they're stressing everybody out, and then we still sat and waited for a while. You know, it's like it was such a bad. I felt like it was just bad for all of us because we all like timed our meals and everything around that. So like Matt was like, "Here, I want you to eat like a large fry about an hour before stage." Well, I ate a large fry, and it ended up being
6 hours.
Well, no, it ended up being like right before stage. I was eating on the way there. And then I'm there and I'm stressing out. And I just ate this fry. I'm like, fuck, you know, I wanted to have some fucking time between them. You know what I mean? So it's just all these things, all these little things that people don't really see that matter for like the peaking process. Like an hour here, 45 minutes here, a little bit of stress, some rushing, all that stuff impacts the look and impacts the athletes more than people really understand, you know?
They should do a 3-day show. Might as well. Yeah, because they would be less packed. They wouldn't be as much rushing because you would know at this time there's this people. So you put like all the girls Friday.
Yeah.
And then you do Friday, you do the classics. And then the Saturday you do the open. Or you mix it up so the tickets are like, maybe you combine like let's say a women's physique with classic bodybuilding, so it's like people who want to watch the classic will have to pay to see. You know what I mean? Like you divide the most popular classes in those 3 days, the top 3.
Oh, so their money kind of feeds the other.
So it's like they make as much money, but that would be a good thing. You do a whole package, the 3 days for a certain amount of for this live stream, and then the tickets you make sure that people will want to see C-Bomb. They're gonna have to like sit through men's physique. Here's your punishment.
Yeah, listen, I don't want it to sound like it was all a negative experience, dude. I had an awesome experience.
No, of course
so
not.
Fucking cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously the timeliness of the whole thing is always something maybe there's left to be desired. But the show was incredible. Like the way the way they treated us, honestly, just being able to get out there on stage with the best in the world, and that whole experience was fucking incredible, man. I really had an awesome time. It was really cool.
But I remember like my first one, I was stressing a little bit more than I should have been stressed, but it's because I didn't know what to expect. And but now the next ones the next time I'm gonna do at the Olympia or whatever or any show, I know that sometimes I'll have to wait for an extra hour.
Yeah.
So I won't be stressed. Okay, this is one of these things that you'll just lay down and stuff, and so
the next night, Saturday night, they were like, okay, get here at 6 p.m. I got there at 6. I wasn't on stage till like 7:30, so I had 90 minutes backstage. I prefer that. I ate a little meal. I pumped up slowly. Then I got glazed right before I went out on stage. So like me personally, I don't know about you guys. I like to pump and then get glazed and then step on stage. And I don't want to fucking stress that process. I want to be able to take my time. Like Friday night was hectic, and it was like you're panicking, and your fucking cortisol levels spike, and so Friday night was definitely a lot. They had things a lot more dialed in, which was nice.
Do you even get a pump though? Have you guys ever get an actual pump before getting on stage?
I got a
Depends
pump.
on the show.
It was honestly, I got a pump. Like if you look, there's a shot of me backstage where I'm hitting the most muscular. You can tell I'm pumped because they had dumbbells, cable flies, or like a pec deck and everything. So I was like able to do like actual like training session. That wasn't just pumping up with bands.
I've never felt pumped at all. All I felt is like I was burning like the little glycogen I had.
Maybe you just weren't full enough.
Maybe, yeah, for sure. I probably would eat more.
I've been there where you're just banging on bands like fucking please get a pump, and it just
But I just stop. It's like right, I'll just stop now. As long as I'm feeling it. When you do a most muscular and you feel like nothing's popping, that's the feeling that I hate. So I'd rather do less and just keep the muscle alive and go on stage. Because let's say if you do an opening round and then you're the first one to go, and even if you're on the first call out, you have to wait for the fucking 30 guys to go,
dude.
And then you're on first. So you're just waiting on the sideline, right, or something, right? Or if you like, so if you're waiting on the sideline, you can't get pump. So if you have a pump, you'll lose your pump. Then you're worse than before.
Yep, I was number 2. So I was second athlete out. Well, it was awesome. They were like, okay, line up everybody. Andrew Jacked is 1, and then you're number 2. I was like, oh, fucking perfect.
After Andrew.
I'll just fall out Andrew. I'm the smallest guy in that fucking stage, and I got to.
Andrew's he's a hard man to like stand next to, isn't he?
Dude, it was like doing stand-up comedy after fucking Dave Chappelle. Like,
yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I know.
That guy's like incredible, man. It's the first time I seen him in person, and I understand what everybody means.
Yeah, like, do you remember when I was speaking about him and people were like, "No, I don't see it." I was like, boys, I trained with him in Binos. I promise you, when he comes to America and stands on his stage, you're going to just drop your jaw. Because I remember the boys from the other cast like, he's all right. So I was really keen for him to come and do his thing.
Yeah.
And ever since now, he's been like laying the smackdown, moving up.
Yeah, laying the smackdown for sure.
Literally, man. Guy's a freak.
Yeah, it's just really impressive standing next to him. I mean, aside from like the silhouette, it's not just that; it's just the projection he has in some of his muscles. Like
it's crazy.
Like, what the fuck? It's so crazy.
The depth is insane.
Yeah, I was really impressed with his showing in Texas. Just watching him pose round after round and not fucking fade and not take one single deep breath after 4 hard rounds. Like this guy did his fucking homework, man.
Yeah, it looks like he's falling asleep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's like so relaxed up there.
Yeah,
it was weird. It was weird training with him in Buenos when he wasn't even considering doing a pro qualifier and he looked like he did. Like I was blown away that he didn't think he was ready. We had this conversation and I'm like, dude, like you could probably be top 10 Olympia now.
Right.
Like, that's a freak. I'm glad he's done what he's done.
He's talking about taking some time off, and I think
is that a cat behind you, James?
Yeah, he's running around like a nutter now. Look, his tail.
I know. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, he's going to take some time off, yeah?
Yeah, dude, I think if that guy took the next 8 months off to grow, like imagine what he could look like at the end of next year.
Mate.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have been sharper, though.
Yeah,
I mean, his body was tired. He's been doing back-to-back preps for ever since.
And he stays pretty lean. Mm-hmm. You could do it just a nice, like, say, a bit of time, let it get a little bit softer, chill.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all know what it's like when you're pushing from show to show. It's like your body just doesn't always want to react. It wasn't from a lack of trying. It's just sometimes your body isn't gonna.
So how many shows did he do so far? He's kind of like you, Justin. So you that was your fourth show at Olympia, fifth?
Yeah, it was my fourth contest prep ever.
So that's hilarious. So Andrew, how many shows did he do? 4?
I don't know
5?
how many shows he's done. Yeah,
he did one with the IFBB Elites, and I think
he won that.
Yeah.
He won that. He did the Arnold Amateur. I don't know if he did a regional before that, but he did that.
He must have to qualify. So he did a regional.
Okay, so 2.
He's done Texas twice. He's done the UK Arnold.
Olympia twice.
But I think his third show ever was the Texas Pro that he won.
Yes, I think he's done 6 shows as a pro.
Okay, in 2 years.
Yeah.
And he's number 5 in the world.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, right?
It's incredible, man.
And if he was on, would have been arguably number 4, number 3. Like you could say, it'd be hard to beat Samson because he's so fucking. But he would have been number.
If he brought that Texas look, ooh,
mate, that would have been third in my opinion.
He'd be pushing third. He'd be pushing third.
I think you guys think his best look was still the Arnold.
No, the recent Texas, bro.
The Arnold was chiseled, but he was a little bit smaller than he needs to be. Whereas the Texas, like you say, he had the fullness and a good level of conditioning.
Really good.
He was so chiseled at that Arnold, I have to say, because I was there. But it just took him out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he didn't quite have the pop. And I think we kind of seen that. I don't know what you guys feel like. I think we've seen that a little bit with Samson this week at Romania. I felt like they maybe pulled him down a little harder, and he just didn't quite have the same level of pop. Maybe it's just like the pictures or whatever I've seen.
Yeah. I see what you mean. Like he didn't necessarily look leaner, but he was still so much bigger than everybody, so he still won.
Have you guys paid attention to the Romania show?
Yeah.
Because I only saw some clips. I'm like, okay, Nathan 4th?
Nathan was tired. I think Nathan was a bit tired.
Like, what?
Nathan should have been ahead of him.
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like Nathan looked a bit tired at this show, and he's a good friend of mine, and I feel like his body's been lean for a long time. Maybe that might be why.
Okay.
I was really impressed with Baruz. I think there's a little to be desired from like his posing. Sometimes he's a little twitchy and not quite just like sitting in the poses. But I feel like if his legs were a little bit bigger, he could have won that fucking show.
Bit more quad sweep.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
man,
like fucking crazy. He's so good.
Like so, imagine like someone said, imagine horses quads on him.
Fuck.
Oh man, dangerous.
That's a dangerous man.
Yeah, he's fucking good.
He's got one of the nicest, most musculars, and one of the nicest front double biceps.
He has that level of detail that Hadi has through the chest when he hits.
He does. He does.
You know, and his glutes are fucking crazy.
I'm trying to find
Yo, Justin.
Yeah.
What did you think of Hadi leaving the stage?
Dude, I mean, listen, I don't think it was, a little unsportsmanlike, but like to be in his shoes, like none of us have ever won an Olympia and then lost it the next year. None of us have ever lost $200,000 in one blow like that.
Also, and lost it not looking bad.
Yeah. And like there was you couldn't argue that he couldn't have possibly won that show. And then also like the pressure he has from his country, like dude, I mean they have a statue of him in his country. Like he's placed on such a fucking pedestal there. So like there's so much pressure from his country and being a representative for Iran. Like so I think it's tough. And I think he sat there, he took the one picture, they wanted to continue to take pictures, and he was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
I
think like you say, unless anyone's been in those shoes, it's so hard to like.
I don't want to even be critical. Like I feel like it's you can look at it and you go, oh man, you should have stuck around and took the picture and out the night. But hey, none of us have been there and know what he felt like.
Yeah, how I see it is that he could have stayed for the extra pictures, but he got emotional. But aren't we all fucking humans here?
Yeah,
like
that's why I have a bit of a what's the word? Yeah, I kind of understand.
Yeah,
well, you actions. Have to empathize a little bit.
Like, empathy.
I seen I believe it was Dave RX Muscle was saying that he should be penalized or
whatever.
I
don't think so.
No,
I think bodybuilders get bodybuilders to a certain we kind of get at each other, and if one of the people I knew had just won an Olympia and then came in arguably as good pretty much the following year and then loses it, I can understand why he's pissed.
Fuck yeah.
On top of all those other reasons.
Have you seen his pose that he did?
I seen some that I wasn't, there were so many different
I have it right here.
translations.
I have the translation right
Translations of
here.
it. Yeah.
I have it right here. So I'm gonna read it. I was like, whoa, that's intense.
Yeah, it was a little intense.
So, because I asked my friend Khaled, and then he was like, I don't know this language. I said, what do you mean? That's Farsi, not Arabic. I said, whoops. Let me ask my friend. So he asked his friend, he said, hello, I am ashamed and broken people of the nation. I am my country. I fought with the whole world. My power is against everything in Iran except for that dagger that I did not understand where it did come from. Please forgive me. You deserve what I could not give you. Sorry to all my people. My country is Iran, hoping for the pride of Iran and the future. Goodbye to me. Goodbye, followers.
The dagger came from the judges.
Deep. Yeah. But
That he
hey,
could not see.
on the flip side of that, Derek fucking brought it, dude. Derek looks sick.
Oh, yeah.
And
how was that in person?
It was fucking amazing, man. I was like standing there on stage. It was really cool. Just obviously, you want to be in these top call outs. I never expected to be in the top call out, but like watching that first call out come and like watching Derek and Hadi and Samson pose, it was like,
oh yeah,
fucking as
it's
a fan,
impressive.
Like, yeah, it was like so.
History was made. First champ.
Who did you guys have winning though?
I was probably more Hadi, if I'm honest. But I even for a moment thought they might give it to Samson just because I saw how I was at the Arnold and Samson arguably beat someone who was sharper. Well, two people who were sharper, but his shape and structure are so good that if he got a nod, I'd be like, I kind of get it. So I wasn't too sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the video that Mannion put out of the judging criteria and like what their considerations?
I watched some of it. Yeah, I watched some
Tyler
of it.
Mannion. It was actually really good, and then you watch it and you understand exactly where he's coming from. He points out the.
So did he do one for the Olympia or no?
He did one for the Olympia for Hadi and Derek.
Oh,
and
I didn't see that.
He went pose through pose, and every single pose he talked about all the judging criteria, and it was tough to argue with once you watch that, and then you kind of understood, know, because sometimes you don't. I don't know. Even I was there, but I'm not sitting in the judges' seats looking directly up at them, seeing exactly what we're seeing. Then a lot of people.
I only saw the stream.
Most people are watching the screen unless they're directly in front. So even if you were there, a lot of us were just watching the screen. So like even me on stage, I was
it's not the same, is it?
Watching the screen as they would turn around and hit their back shots because I can't see
Yeah.
their glutes,
I thought Hadi was better from the front in the shots where it was like that, because of just the density in his chest.
Yeah.
So that took a lot of my attention. But from the back, it was like, holy fuck.
Fucking
Derek,
yeah.
And the shape Derek had it more, but Hadi's shape is not bad. But also, Hadi has been told for his shoulders that, hey, be careful with that stuff. I heard, and his shoulders were kind of the same as the last year. So I don't know if that was also a factor. So that goes along with the aesthetic and the lines, right? If it's the flow of the physique, it's kind of weird. If there's like a delt that doesn't look like a normal delt, I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So
I think one thing that he pointed out was that they pull up the front double and they say that there's a disparity between Hadi's left leg and his right leg, so that boils down to symmetry. So symmetry was off in this shot. Then you look at Derek, his waist is smaller, his lats are wider. He's wider from the lats to waist. Quads are more symmetrical, and it's hard to argue that he didn't win the.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
One thing that I find crazy is that when I see something live happening or even a video that's moving, it's from the left to the right. Unless I press pause and look at the picture, for me it's like hard. I would not be a good judge then. It must be hard to just look at everything at once while it's moving.
I wouldn't be a good judge because I have preferences. Like I could see, like the arguments they had there for Derek winning. I get them, but then if I just look at a physique and I just go, I like that one. I just like that one, and that's like Hadi from the front for me looks powerful, looks like he's gone in the gym and done some serious work, and I'm just impressed by it. Derek's pretty, but for me, like Hadi just looks like the kind of bodybuilder that I don't know, I just relate to, and therefore there I have bias. So there's so many things that to be a good judge, you kind of have to let go of that bias, don't you?
So James, body part by body part, if you had to make your best bodybuilder with Hadi and Derek, which body part would you choose of each? So let's say arms. Which Which one?
I still think Hadi, even though Hadi's triceps are not as good as they could be, arms in total are more peaky and I think look better in a front double and a back double.
Chest.
Hadi definitely, because the
abs.
Hadi, because Derek doesn't even do opposed wise. Hadi as well. They're grainy and they're thick.
Calves.
I would say that Hadi's are still probably a bit bigger than Derek's, even though both of them don't have
hamstrings.
Probably Derek.
Glutes.
Derek.
Sus. Back.
Probably Derek.
Shoulders.
See,
minus oil.
Yeah, minus oil, probably like Hadi.
Okay.
So Hadi there's probably more body parts of Hadi that I would want on my body if I was a bodybuilder. Because I like Derek, but there's certain shots, like the side shots, like side chest, I'm like, it's good, but it's not winning out of everybody's side shot. He smokes the back double, he smokes the rear lat spread. Well, doesn't even smoke the rear lat spread. Hadi's rear lat spread is really good.
Hadi's rear lat was fucking really good.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It was just like the detail in Derek's glutes and hams that were just so fucking crazy.
I feel like for Derek to be a dominant Mr. Olympia, in my opinion, but it doesn't matter because my opinion don't matter, his side shots would have to improve tremendously. To be a dominant Mr. Olympia, like if you look at Phil Heath when he used to walk side on and just step on stage, and you look at that shit, I know it's a totally different body, but that for me is why he was so dominant.
Okay, I'm going to put something up, guys, and I want you to give me your honest opinion, even though it's not a real comparison. But, okay, what do you think about this versus Hadi and Derek? You see that right now?
I think I think Nick looked really good. I think his quads from the front are his weakest part.
This shot right here, fucking for sure, Nick would have won that pose.
He's got the best side chest, definitely.
Nick. So
Nick's only weakness. Sorry,
it's fine. I spent time around Nick that weekend, and I also pumped up backstage with Hadi and Derek. Nick just has things that these guys don't fucking have.
No,
Nick is fucking absurd. And look at that, the amount of detail he has right there. And this is him a week out flat.
Yeah,
that was flat.
Yeah. That's him coming down, man.
Do you guys see that right there?
Look at the depth of the abs and the arms, like the diameter of the arm circumference.
So
no one's got those arms.
I wish I would have loved to see that because I don't think it would have been as easy for any of those guys to fucking be one or two.
No, not at all.
So, you said like, oh, Hadi must be pissed because he lost 200 grand. How much money did fucking Nick lost?
Look at Nick's arms right there. Look at his triceps, his right tricep.
The stration in them and the peak.
Who's that? Dude. He's the mutant, bro.
I think Nick's only weakness, and it's not even really a weakness, it's just that quads from the front might be not quite as dominant as Hadi.
Yeah, it's tough. But he has humongous legs.
Seen it, they're giant horse legs.
Yeah, like from the side. I mean, just standing there walking next to Nick, you're just like, dude, you're fucking. There's nothing on his body that isn't absolutely preposterous and mutant-like.
He is a preposterous man.
Man, you think he could have won?
Yes, I do. I'm not saying he would have. Could he have? Fuck yeah, dude.
That's what I mean, because the hardness that Hadi had in the front that Derek didn't, Nick Walker has it. Yeah. And of course Derek from the back, I think, has a more like crazy proportion with his back. But Nick's size, I would have been curious to see because Nick has like a lot of pounds over these two guys.
And it depends what you're looking at within the shot. Because like if you're focusing on like Nick's arms are blowing everybody's arms out of the water when it comes to the back double, and that is part of the shot for me. Like Ronnie Coleman, the arms used to be half the shot for me. I used to love it.
Or Phil.
Yeah. One thing, my opinion for sure is that I think Nick would have showed up. Samson is not top 3 anymore.
Yeah, I think this Nick was.
Would you say that to Samson's face though?
I might, but is that going to happen? No.
I think. Did Samson improve enough? The question would be: did Samson improve enough from the Arnold to this Olympia versus Nick's improvements?
No,
because I know Nick came behind him at the Arnold, so that's where it's now. Who improved enough to take that?
You're always kind of comparing against your previous self, and when you look at this version,
because Nick at the Arnold was just a little bit under muscled for him because he came in and a bit too much.
Yeah, he just didn't look. He didn't have that like crazy mutant factor that he normally would have.
Yeah,
but he looked like he was on pace to bringing it to this Olympia. So
I think
I
so.
I do think he would have beat Samson here.
Yeah, you see the chest here. You see how like the triceps go under the nipple. It's just like all the way through, like that. So this guy was hard as nails. There was
look
no
at the
like,
way that the tricep tie in and then the shoulder, like how it just bulges out like that.
yeah, I don't know how he does it. I'm doing
Same
tricep
with
push
Roan
downs,
shit.
and nothing happens when I do tricep push downs.
Antoine, do you think he's natural?
Huh?
What's that?
Do you think he's natural?
Well, I think he's a mutant, man.
Oh, okay.
Well, I know he told me that he tried some SARMs once.
He used some methyl 1 test.
LGD, Osterum.
I think he uses EAHD.
Yeah, I think he's using the new pre-HD variant 001 or 002, where you could use code AV to code AV to
who's he's trying to get your sales now. That I actually really like the name of that variant. I think that's so cool.
Right. It's good marketing.
Reminds me of COVID.
You know, I'll say this though about Nick. It was nothing short of a fucking tragedy that weekend that he wasn't there.
Oh, for sure.
And like it's even like at being there with Matt and being, you know, his teammate, it just felt it was so fucking sad, dude. I felt so bad. And you know, Matt said it. Matt told me, he goes, man, it feels like somebody died. Like that pit feeling in your stomach, that feeling when a horrible accident happens or you lose a loved one, something like that's like, I hate to say that, it sounds really grim, but like when we were all together, like Charles, me, Matt, we're all checking in and Nick is there laying on the ground and can't even stand up. It fucking hurt, dude.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It sucked. That was my friend, my teammate, and somebody that was gonna.
That's the thing, isn't
dominate.
it, Jay?
Yeah.
If you're feeling that, imagine his feelings, man. And it's like,
know,
wow.
Man. And that's the thing. Nick told me. Nick's like, dude, it's your first Olympia. Have fun, smile. I was like, Nick, I'm sad, dude. This is like we're here in the corner of the gym posing, and like you're in a fucking wheelchair, dude. This sucks.
Yeah,
it was a bummer, man.
They should have given him entry to the wheelchair Olympia, and he would have just got won it straight away. Boom! Just take that little win while you're here. Might as well win something.
It was. It was a big bummer, man, and I love Nick. He's somebody that's become a really good friend of mine, and I fucking
he's a good guy.
It broke my fucking heart, man.
And I realized earlier how much money you lost, bro.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, it would have been a few
hundred there.
Yeah.
I think though the thing with him, he's so resilient and he has a mentality that's so crazy. He can pull off a branch warren. He can do a turnaround like no one else because he's got the mentality.
Yeah. I was kind of talking to him about that. Just like I admire the tenacity that kid has. Like we as Olympians and pro bodybuilders, we're all doing what we need to do to get done, but there's levels to execution and mindset and all these things that really play a role in being fucking elite at the top level. And I feel like Nick, in my opinion, exemplifies that work ethic and mindset it takes to be at the very top.
Yeah. And to be honest, a hamstring tear is one of these tears. Even if you don't fix it, you switch up the leg, and nobody will fucking notice. Like I know Steve Bum tore a hamstring, Fuad tore his hamstring twice. It's still competed. I think Keon's got a hamstring tear. So it's like a hamstring tear is fucking debilitating, but I don't think he's gonna be any less good as before.
It was a minor tear, and it was also on the leg. He doesn't drop back in his back.
And it was the calf actually had worse issue, wasn't it? It was the calf that was more of an issue than the ham.
Yeah, so I guess he tore his hamstring, and then he was doing hanging leg raises the next day, I believe, and came down from the bar and landed and popped his calf on the same leg.
Did he say what exercise he tore? How did it happen?
He doesn't even know. He had no idea. He had no idea. He didn't even know it happened.
Wow.
Bizarre,
that was like my knee the other day.
You good? What happened to your knee?
Yeah, what I was saying to the boys earlier before, I've had a little pop in my knee, so I'm getting a scan this week, see what's what.
Wow. You mean like quad tendon or like an actual in the knee or what?
Knee, actual knee.
Top of the kneecap?
Inside on the left-hand side. But I've had some tests done to test if it's like meniscus, and I've got no issues on any of the tests, so we'll see. That's why I'm going to get a scan. Because it could just be something internal, like some sort of sprain on a tendon or something. I'm hoping.
MRI?
Yeah, I believe that's MRI is what I'll be getting.
Sometimes it's weird. Like I was doing It's kind of stupid. Again, people are gonna be like, "You're fucking retard," but I was training with the world's strongest man, with Juji,
As you do.
and we were doing close grip bench press at the end, and I'm like, it it would have been fine. I had 3 plates on. I even went to 3.5, then back to 3 plates. It would have been fine if the guy didn't take 5 minutes in between sets, and me there was no more pump. It was like all joint. It was like, but I'm still. I said, okay, I'm gonna go back down to 3 plates. I won't do 3.5. So and then I go on the 5th rep. It went like click in my fucking chest, and I'm like, Juji, rack this up. I racked it, and you could see like a dent here, and I was like, oh man, I did fuck up my fucking chest. And then I waited like 2 or 3 weeks, and then now I'm fine. But it was scary. There was no blue, nothing. But I think sometimes something could happen, and your body's like tenses up, and then you just got to work on it, and then it relaxes, and then back to normal.
Yeah, that's how my knee felt.
Yeah, I'm hoping your knee is going to be something similar. So just don't try to like test it out, like do a squat every 2 minutes, see if it still hurts. Like leave it alone and do the imaging, do all this stuff, and I think you'll be fine.
Did you do it training? What happened?
Yeah, I use the Arsenal leg press, which I don't really leg press often. I'm just a squat guy, really. So
yeah,
I used that, and I had my feet pretty low and did like this kind of plie kind of squat. Went really deep for a few sets. Then moved on to the hack, the Cybex. Went down, done a set. I was like, that's a bit iffy, and and then I did one more set. I went down, and I felt pain in the side of my knee, and I did the same thing as you, Antoine. I was like, Jordan, Corin, do you mind just lifting this off me? Because I'm not going to risk pushing up because there was a little ping in there. So I think whatever I did on the leg press, done something. I overstretched it. I done something. And when I got into the hack, it was not that great. So, yeah, man, we'll find out.
I think you'll be fine. And the thing is, now in the future, like I remember how I felt before that set. If I feel that again in the future, I'm just stopping my workout. So now how you felt before the leg press and after, now you kind of know in the future you can learn from that and just not do the same mistake again.
For sure.
Happened to me yesterday deadlifting. I did. I put
really
5 plates on and I pulled 3 reps, and on the 3rd rep, it felt like something in my groin.
Yeah.
Like maybe even almost like a hernia or something. It was just like a little pinch, and it didn't feel like much, but I just set the fucker down and pulled a plate and then just did 405.
Yeah.
But it was just like
he kept going 4 or 5.
Yeah.
After a show, you got to be careful. After a show, you got to be careful. You're so strong.
I probably should, like, 500 didn't feel heavy, but I probably should have just done 405 regardless, being like 10 days post show. But I was like vlogging, the camera was on. I was like,
I know what you mean.
Put on 5 plates, but yeah, I pulled a triple and it felt weird, and I just set it down and walked away. So fuck it.
Obviously, just environmental as well. Like I feel like if you're at a gym, you don't normally train out, or if you're around people, or something in your day hasn't been quite normal, those little, misalignments in your existence, they affect the gym, even if you're not really thinking about them. Like obviously, I've relocated to Cheltenham, where Jordan is.
Yeah.
And as much as I know the place and I'm familiar, I'm still acclimatizing to this place. Even the equipment, the gym, time of day that I train. So it's kind of not inevitable it'll be happening, like these kind of things, but they're more likely.
Yeah. And honestly, like since I got home, like even just the difference in time, the 3-hour time difference. And then I've actually been sick. I got home and I got sick immediately from the Olympia. Just spent the last week, not bad, just a little chest cold, but this is like my first week back training. So yeah, sick, traveling. And it was like, I just immediately felt weird. So it's,
the Olympia, everyone gets sick after that because there's just so much handshaking, cuddling. Like you're happy for everyone. You speak to each other. You do the athletes meet. You shake so many hands and breathe in each other's faces, and then before you know it, you're like, "Oh God, I'm fucked."
It's brutal. Yeah, there's like nothing you can really do. It's like
nothing. You'd have to sit by the glass shield.
I shook 1,000 hands, and then everyone wants a hug, and everyone wants to take pictures. And then you're like face to face with people, and they're breathing heavy, and then it's loud, so they're like, "Hey man, you're a huge inspiration." I'm like, thanks.
I tell you though, isn't that one of the most gratifying moments of the weekend when you have that time? You realize how many people actually got your back, like to a certain degree.
It's just crazy. Like, I sat there and I look and I was like, there's like 25 people in a line waiting to shake my hand, That's how fucking humbling is that, you know? Because who the fuck am I? But then, you actually you speak to each individual, and then you realize that there's parts of your story that connect with what they're doing.
Yeah.
And, you're able to find some common ground with all these different people. And it's really cool.
I got a question. Let's end it on that. So For all you guys, we'll start with Q. So, do you remember an interaction like maybe like last weekend, Q, where somebody shared something to you about like how you impacted them, and you just remember the conversation and what they said?
I guess like when a couple of people approach you and be like, "Oh, you're my favorite bodybuilder," or they like freaking out, like, "Man, I love you," and they're so excited. I was like, "Holy shit!" Because I'm really just doing something I enjoy. I'm just living my life. Like being a bodybuilder, it's just like a part of who I am, as it's a part of who you guys are. So it's just like you got to get caught up in the day to day shit, and it just feels really regular. I feel like a regular person. So it's cool to feel that like whatever we're doing is like impacting somebody positively, and it's cool to actually be able to like cross those links and actually meet some of these people. So it just kind of like gives me more of a reason to push even harder. So it's always humbling, and
For sure.
yeah, it gets me fired up.
Justin?
Well, you know what I think, especially when you go and you meet people outside of your circle, sometimes you forget that every conversation we're having here, you know, we don't have the largest viewership, but 10,000 people are going to listen to this. Put 10,000 people in a fucking room. It's a lot of people, you know? So like when you go out and then you have people that are telling you that the things that you said on these podcasts affected them and, you know, changed how they approach maybe their training, their life, business, whatever. You know, I met a kid and he told me that his mom had also just passed away from cancer. And listening to that Pure Muscle podcast that we put out where I talked about my mom passing away of cancer and I was vulnerable and I cried with you guys, you know, it was a really emotional thing for me to talk. It was when it was pretty fresh when I did the one with Antoine, with you and Dorian. But then you realize that you're here at the Olympia and there's this young man. He's 17 years old, I think. He was just a fucking kid who just lost his mom, and he's able to connect with somebody who had also just lost their mom, and he got to see me push through, pursue, and you know. Then I went on and I won my a professional bodybuilding show, and I'm here at the Olympia, and it was just inspiring for him, and he wanted to come up to let me know that how much that impacted him, you know. And then you realize, like, fuck, man, having this platform and being able to share these things and being emotionally vulnerable and allowing young people to see that, you know, crying and being vulnerable doesn't mean that you're weak. It can also mean that you're strong. And, you know, just it added just a little more meaning to what we're doing. And it was really cool. So that for me was a really good experience to have.
Yeah, man.
That's a good example. James?
Mine's mostly like truly most of my interactions have been like really impactful and through Instagram. And that sounds weird because it's like not a very deep place, but a lot of the inboxes and kind of messages and the few that I have managed to reach back to about things that are very similar. Obviously, me and Justin have been in a very similar situation, and that certainly was something that created a lot of discussion with an audience, whether it was mothers, brothers, sons, daughters. You know, some people would come out about things that happened. I was like, wow, like I couldn't even begin to express or understand the pain you're feeling in your situation because I've been fortunate enough to even have a mother. Like some of these people, they've had things going on. I'm like, wow, it's crazy. But yeah, I suppose like Justin, I'm just kind of happy that they feel confident enough and comfortable enough to come out of themselves and feel like they have somewhere at least to put their inner thoughts instead of bottling them up. Because, you know, a lot of us have those times when we don't feel great and sometimes you don't know where to project it. You really don't. So even if someone for a moment lends you an ear, even if there's not a lot of conversation back and forth, but you feel good for at least putting it out there, I'm glad that any of us guys can be that to a degree. And that's purposeful. And that's like Quinn says, like with the bodybuilding, if something makes you feel like you have purpose, then it's worth pursuing. And my bodybuilding has able to go on as long as it has, not because of my own love really for bodybuilding for me, but because of the amount of people that have reached out and said it's important what you do. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy with that. My life's been pretty good because of that. So there's no one interaction. It's probably an abundance, to be fair.
All of them are important.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because there was this one interaction at the booth. So I was talking with other people, and this guy was waiting there for a little while, right? You know, when there's a line, and then you try to like let everybody talk. Like you know, Bumstead, it's probably hard to like have real conversations for the whole line, but I was able to have real conversations like back to back, you know, and giving my time to each of them. But this one guy, as soon as I was done with this guy, he came to me right away. He said, I said, a few years ago, you did a podcast with Dave and another one with this about my addiction and stuff. And and then the guy was he was listening to his car on the way to pick up heroin, like like fentanyl, whatever. He was going on his way to pick it up, and he heard the podcast of me talking, and then something clicked, and he told me that he didn't get clean right away, but something clicked that day, and then he told me like he was like 2 or 3 years clean when he talked to me at the booth. So I was like, holy fuck! Like I forget sometimes that what we say online literally will help like some people like more than we think. And so shout out to this guy, and there was a lot of people that came to me and said something similar, right? Because I think we have a responsibility in a sense sometimes to just share about things, and because it does help a lot of people. So that was one of the conversations last week at the Olympia that was like, wow, it was kind of nice to hear that, like maybe for them it doesn't mean too much to share. They just show their appreciation. But for me, it's like shit. It makes a lot of sense. So that's why today I did another post, and I got to do more stuff like that because it does help a lot of people. Yeah, so sure. Yeah, we just want to thank all the viewers, the listeners, because you guys matter to us. If something we say can help you or just motivate you or to make you go through a hard workout or a hard cardio session or just help you in your life in general, we are happy with that. So don't forget to follow James Hollingshed on the Instagram and on Twitch, and follow Quentin and Justin Shier. It has just begun. Their careers have just begun, and me and James are not done yet. We got the Arnold to do.
A little bit more on us.
So thanks everyone for watching. Yeah, and go to the gym if you haven't.